Hey there, private equity. The secret financial giants you've never heard of until now. They own your favorite brands, your local hospitals, even the company your cousin works for. On the surface, they look like savvy investors. But behind closed doors, they're stripping companies bare, loading them with debt, and walking away with billions, while workers and consumers pay the price. Sound dramatic? It is, because right now, private equity firms control over $12 trillion in assets. That's more than the GDP of China. And yet, most people have no idea how they operate or why their tactics are draining the life out of businesses we rely on every day. So today, we're pulling back the curtain. How do these firms take over companies? Why do so many collapse under their control? And most importantly, what can you do about it? Let's break it down. Section 1. What even is private equity? First, let's get clear on what private equity is. Private equity firms are investment companies that raise billions from wealthy investors, pension funds, and university endowments to buy entire businesses. They keep these deals private, meaning they don't have to answer to the public or disclose what's really happening. The idea is to buy a company, improve it, and sell it for a profit within a few years. But improve often means cutting costs, laying off workers, and extracting as much cash as possible before moving on. Section 2. The leverage buyout trick. Private equity firms use a tool called a leverage buyout, or LBO. Imagine you want to buy a $500,000 house, but you only have $50,000. So, you take out a loan for the rest. That's what private equity does, but with businesses. They pay a small portion themselves and borrow the rest, using the company's assets as collateral. Then, the company they just bought has to pay back the loan taken out to buy itself. If the company survives, the private equity firm sells it for a profit. If it doesn't, the company goes bankrupt while the private equity firm has already made millions in fees and interest. Section 3. The Classic Playbook. Cut, load, flip. Here's how private equity firms operate, step by step. 1. Cut costs. Lay off workers, close stores, reduce pay and benefits. 2. Sell off assets. Sell the company's real estate and lease it back, or sell profitable divisions for quick cash. 3. Load with debt. Take out additional loans in the company's name to pay dividends to themselves. 4. Flip. Sell the company after a few years, often to another private equity firm, showing profit while the company is saddled with debt. This process extracts huge profits for private equity while leaving the company fragile and often on the edge of collapse. Section 4. The Toys R Us example. Let's talk about Toys R Us, a brand many of us grew up with. In 2005, private equity firms KKR and Bain Capital bought Toys R Us using a leveraged buyout, loading it with $5 billion in debt. Every year, Toys R Us had to pay $400 million in interest payments, leaving little to improve stores, lower prices, or compete with Amazon. In 2017, it filed for bankruptcy and closed all its U.S. stores, laying off 30,000 workers. Meanwhile, the private equity firms walked away having collected millions in management fees and interest, even as the company collapsed. Section 5. How it hits you. Prices up, quality down. You might think this is just a big business problem, but it hits you directly. When private equity takes over a business, prices often go up to cover debt payments. Quality drops as staff are cut and maintenance is deferred. Your choices shrink as local businesses close and consolidate. It's why your favorite store might suddenly reduce staff and product quality while hiking prices, or why your gym doubles its fees after a buyout. Section 6. Private equity in healthcare and essential services. Private equity has expanded into healthcare, education, and local services. In healthcare, it can lead to understaffed hospitals and higher patient bills. In nursing homes, studies show higher mortality rates and lower quality after PE takeovers. In veterinary clinics, prices rise as PE groups form regional monopolies. When private equity enters essential services, the goal remains the same: extract profit fast, regardless of the long-term consequences for you. Section 7. Your retirement funds fuel this. Here's a twist. Your pension or retirement savings might be funding private equity. Pension funds invest in private equity, chasing higher returns to pay future retirees. But the irony? While these investments grow your retirement fund, they contribute to job losses, bankruptcies, and higher prices in your community. It's like your left hand stealing from your right. Section 8. Defenders say they're saving companies to be fair. Private equity claims they save struggling businesses. They increase efficiency. They provide strong returns for pension funds. They create long-term value. And sometimes this is true. Some firms genuinely improve companies. But the problem is many PE firms prioritize short-term profit extraction, leaving companies hollow, workers displaced, and communities harmed. Section 9. Why it continues. Loopholes and lobbying. So why isn't this stopped? Tax loopholes like the carried interest loophole allow PE managers to pay lower taxes. Limited transparency means PE firms don't have to disclose much. Bankruptcy laws shield PE owners while workers and creditors lose everything. Powerful lobbying preserves these advantages, with PE firms spending hundreds of millions to influence policy. This keeps the system running, benefiting a few at the expense of many. Section 10. The future. Can it change? Private equity isn't going away. It's a $13 trillion industry and growing fast. But can it change? Solutions include closing tax loopholes, limiting debt loading, increasing transparency, protecting workers' pensions and severance, enforcing fair practices in essential services. Change is possible, but it requires public awareness, regulatory courage, and consumer pressure. Conclusion: private equity is everywhere, shaping your daily life, often for the worse. Your favorite shop's closing, prices rising, jobs disappearing, services declining, all while a handful of people profit massively. If you found this video eye-opening, like this video to push it to more viewers. Subscribe for deep dives into hidden financial systems controlling your life. Comment below if you've seen your favorite company disappear or prices rise after a buyout. Because knowledge is power, and together we can demand a fairer system that works for everyone, not just a few. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.